I am not a victim of my life. And I have to seek and find the goodness. Like, why? What am I to learn here? There are no failures. There are just learnings. And so how do I get to the other side of that? Your creative side starts opening up your mind and going, wait a minute, this would be working for me if A, B, and C were to pass. And so it allows you to be creative. But I find that oftentimes, even at your darkest moments, with gratitude, there's a learning in there for you that'll make you better.
I'm very excited to have my friend and mentor, Nina, here on the show. Nina, thank you so much for joining us. So many questions to get into. First question, you've been a leader for a long time. I wonder, as you celebrate your, 28th year this year for Pinnacle Group, and even before that, you've been a leader. How do you feel today as you look back at that whole journey?
Wow, you're asking me to look back a very long time. Before I answer the question, I just want to personally say, Monica, how proud I am of you. Since the moment you and I met, you have captivated my heart and my mind. And I'm so proud of you, what you're doing. Curious Monica, just having authentic conversations with leaders, I think is a beautiful thing because there's a lot that we can learn from each other when we're in our real self and authentically communicating. And so I just want to say how proud I am of you.
Thank you. Nina's making me cry already. We haven't even started.
You're right. I have been what you would call a leader for a very long time. In fact, I was elected into my first role when I was 17 years old. I always looked for leadership opportunities. I was student body vice president and I always have looked for ways to lead. And for me, leadership is really about service. And so when I look back at a 28-year career overall over my leadership, I think what a privilege it has been to serve so many people. And it has been quite a journey and quite an experience of innovation.
Sometimes when we are successful, it could get to us. And despite that, I feel like one of the reasons why I love and respect you is you're just the same human person, more energy actually somehow over the years. And there's something grounding you. What helps you stay grounded and not let those flashiness get in the way?
Wow, that's a real good question. My honest answer is God. I have to remember that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how many doctorates you have. It doesn't matter the shoes you wore, the clothes you wore, the house you lived in. At the end of the day, what really matters? And I find myself leaning in to my faith more, and it comes from a place of gratefulness. And like I said, I'm just so grateful for what God has blessed me with, that I want to find ways to give it back.
Leadership, as you said, is a journey and continuing growth. Where does Nina, as a leader, also want to continue to improve?
Oh gosh, I feel like leadership is not the kind of thing where you go to a conference and this is a practice. Here's the good news is there are practicing moments. There are so many in a day. Every time you show up, every time you have an interaction with someone, it's an opportunity to practice. And so I want to continue to lean into my own personal development. I feel like business is just a portion of who I am as a human. There's a beautiful quote that I love that describes what I'm trying to achieve. And the quote says, "You can count the seeds on an apple, but you can never count the apples that come from those seeds." And I feel like business is just one component of my life. I'm also a mother. I'm also a mentor. I want to be known for building people, not building companies, although it is a beautiful thing, that we have accomplished together at Pinnacle. But I feel like I have a next level, and I'm going to continue to search and lean in to my own personal development to have a lot of apples.